Right, Tasty Global Kitchen here. I'm going to be making fried dumpling today. To make fried dumplings, Jamaican style, you can either use plain flour, which means you'd have to get some baking powder and some salt and some water. Or else you can use self-raising flour, which doesn't actually need any baking powder because it's self-rising already. But this is basically it, just flour, salt and some water. I've got a measuring cup here and some water here, but in fact I never actually measure it, so this is going to be something new for me. I normally just go by the texture and see how it's able to manipulate in my hand after the paste has been floured and my hand has been floured. I've got a spoon here because I tend to try and use the spoon more than anything, rather than get my hand really messy with the mixing of the flour and the water. So this is it: flour, salt, water, baking powder if using plain flour. Otherwise you can just use self-raising flour, so that means self-raising flour and salt and water. Okay, so up that. Right, here I've got the flour. I've got 1 cup here. I'm going to need about, maybe for 2 people, with the amount of sardines I've got, I would say I'd use maybe about 6 cups of this. Depends on how many dumplings you want and how many people you are cooking for. So I can't actually say how much I'm going to be using. I usually play it by ear, because it normally goes out very well. Normally when I do my dumplings, there's never any left over, but I'll show you how much I'm going to put in the bowl. But this is just 1 cup of flour, plain flour, and then I'm going to show you how much I'm actually going to put in the bowl, and then you can maybe judge it by that. Okay, so 3 cups, 3 actual cup sizes of plain flour was put into this bowl. So I'm just putting that as a demonstration of how much baking powder I'm going to use, because I want my dumpling to be really light and fluffy. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of this scattered all over the flour. 2 tablespoons, yeah, and I mean proper tablespoons like that. Yes, scattered all over the flour and then mixed in. Well stirred in. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much. I don't like using a lot of salt at all, but in this case I'll just use maybe just so that we can use the same spoon. We'll just use just maybe half of that, so about that much in the same spoon. So it's just a little bit, and again you make sure that's mixed in properly. I don't like using a lot of salt at all in anything, to be honest. Even when I'm cooking vegetables, I try not to cook with salt. I like to have the natural flavour of food. So that's mixed in. Yeah. Now I'm going to add the water to it. Now mostly what happens is, what usually happens when making dumpling is the water is poured in and it's kneaded by hand. But I'm going to start it off because I try not to get too messy when it comes to making dumplings. So I'm going to just try and mix it with the spoon as much as I can. So just keep mixing it because it's just a dough. I'm going to mix it and mix it and mix it till all the flour is dissolved. You might need more water. In this case, definitely we need more water for the amount of flour that we've got in there, so that everything's all mixed in as a paste. Yeah. I know there's, but my dear mother would always make dumplings just by hand. just from the start, from the get-go, you would just put the flour and water together and heat it straight away. So probably another half a cup has been added. So as I said, I play this by ear when I'm making dumpling. I never measure it. We've never measured anything. So just mix it in like that. And of course, you make sure your hands are clean. I have to even put, I said half a cup extra. It wasn't even half a cup. It was just less than half a cup. It was just enough to get the dough to be a bit more solid rather than as runny as it was. So this is getting there. Yeah. But you might need the other bit of flour just to flour your hands, because you're going to be kneading this into a dumpling. It still looks a bit runny. So I have to do a little bit more of that half, just to dust it off. Yeah. Right, here it is, the dumpling mixture. I'm kneading it now in a bowl, or massaging I should say, and put a bit more flour on it just to make sure that my hands don't stick to it too much. It's very soft at the moment, but that's how I like it, because it makes the dumpling really light and not too tough when it's actually frying. But you know, you have to add more flour every now and again, as you can see here. But yeah, this is getting there, really getting there now, and soon be ready now to actually make into dumplings. So yeah, I'm happy getting there. I know I'm putting more flour in, but it's only just to make sure that it doesn't stick to my hand. But it is a soft dough that I'm making, because as I said, I like very light dumplings. Usually people do it with less water, so it's a lot tougher, but I like it this way. I can roll it now. Oh, it's fallen off my hand, but I'll get there. Right, yep, I've got one here that I've rolled already. As I said, doing this is a messy job. It is a messy job, I admit that, but it's worth it in the end. Flour can be wiped off from surfaces. That's not a problem to me, not at all. Alright, so I've done how many now? 5 so far, and I've got a little bit left there to do, so I'm just going to cut this bit off. Just got a little bit of flour again in my hand, because I have to wash my hands every minute so it gets wet and damp, and so yeah, so again like that, and I'll put it on a plate that's been floured lightly, that when I'm ready to take it out to fry, it's not gonna be a problem. Yeah, so just keep kneading it and make it into as much of a circle as you can, and put it on a plate like so. Yeah, I think I could make 2 more. This going. Now a little bit more, that it doesn't stick to the plate. Yeah, so that's a nice one. Look, I'll put that there. Yeah, and one last one, yes. Right, that's a nice one. Let's try to get that all there, and that's all done. So that's all my dumplings ready for frying now. All right. here's the dumplings that are all ready. They're sitting on the plate for about 5 minutes or so while I was preparing the frying pan. So they're kind of like got a new shape to it, but that's fine. It's going to rise really beautifully. All going in the frying pan. Yep. And let's get the rest of it. So here they are. Dumplings are frying slowly, moderate heats, and I don't want them to burn. I just want them to be golden. So see, this one is looking nice and golden there. And when it's cooked, you'll know, because it will be like a bread-like texture. Bread-like texture. Just making sure this. It's a hot day today. Really hot. They're all on the side now, so that they can be cooked inside and outside. So I want it to be all brown and nice. I'll keep turning it every now and again. Might be better to do it by your hand sometimes if you've got strong hands that can take the heat. Ooh. Yeah, like that. Just keep turning it. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Press them a bit. And to give it an extra sweet taste, what I normally put is a little bit of butter on it. So this isn't something that you would eat every day because it is rather fattening. But if it's a group of you or a few of you in the household, you split it in two and have it with your sardine. It is really nice. Yeah. So I'm going to put a bit of butter on. Here it is, a little bit of butter. Just a little bit, so don't be alarmed. I'm just going to go at the side there. I'm going to mix it in between as well, just to make the dumplings a bit more golden and give it a kind of a sweet taste. Right, but I just love dumplings like this, and it is quite light, even though it looks tough on the outside. Inside it's very light. It's like a bread texture. And it can be eaten with other things away from sardines, such as ackee and saltfish. But that's going to be for another video. You'll like that, I'm sure. Ackee and saltfish. But let's continue. Again, just to see how it's getting on. What I tend to do is turn them on the side as well, so it's cooked properly inside and out. That was a bit burnt, but that's fine. Turn them on the side like that. And they'll cook quicker and inside and out. So it's fighting me though. This has been cooking for about 15 minutes now, and I've been turning it all the time on its side now. Yeah, on a low heat, so I don't want it to burn. Yeah. I'm glad I did just this amount, because it's just 2 of us going to be eating today, and I don't want to put on too much weight. Yeah. So this is my lunch. And I put it on a plate now with a sardine, then you can see. Here it is, my lovely sardines. At last, at last. I'm going to put it on a plate now, as you can see. Got it all cooked and ready now for my lunch. What I'm going to do now is get the dumplings out as well. So here's one dumpling coming out here first, and then I'll get a nice big one. I know, but I like my dumplings. So I'm going slice it in two, as I always do. See the texture? It's just like bread. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'll put that alongside there. I think I've got room on that plate for maybe one more. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. Slicing it again. And put it there. Just move it along one side there. And yeah, let me just tidy up my plate a bit. Yeah, presentation is key, you know, presentation is key. So yes, this is it, my sardines and dumpling. I love this lunch. I say lunch, but it can be breakfast, could be any time, snack anytime. It's beautiful, look at it, beautiful. I recommend it to everyone to give this a try. Give this a try. It is such a tasty, tasty meal. I would say you can have this in the morning, as I said, in the afternoon. I don't know about dinner, maybe it's not too filling for dinner, but dumplings are nice, bit fattening as you can see, but the sardines are very nice and healthy. Yep, check it out, check out this. Now look at my next end here of ones I've made earlier, some sardines I made earlier. Right, had a little get together a couple of days ago, and so I made some snacks here for some family members, and so it was just basically sardine and dumplings. It was so nice, it went down like a treat. Everyone said, I want more dumplings, but I said, this is enough, let's make do. So all I've done is cut them in half and had that between all of us. And this was for about 4 people. It was enough. And if you run out of dumplings, then you can always have toast. Bread is beautiful with it as well. So, you know, it's a very versatile snack to have once the sardines are cooked nicely. If you enjoyed the cooking experience of Tasty Global Kitchen today, please like, subscribe, press the notification bell, comment and share to the whole wide world for me. I would really appreciate it. Tasty Global Kitchen here, signing off.